Hey all you Flirkin nerds, it's TJ aka Fat Thor. I'm at San Diego Comic-Con on behalf of Streamr News, and I am here with none other than the man himself, David Pepose, who just announced his new Punisher title, so let's hear all about it. Alright David, so you just announced your brand new title, The Punisher. Everyone's freaking out. We are super excited. So first I gotta ask you, how does it feel to finally be able to drop this news?
Oh boy, it's a real weight off my shoulders. I've been working on The Punisher for many months at this point, and so it's really nice to finally be able to talk about it in public. And yeah, it's been so exciting to see just how passionate and caring the fan base is. The response has been overwhelming, and I'm really grateful to the fans. For those who didn't catch up with our news, we're introducing an all-new Punisher to the Marvel Universe. Joe Garrison, he's a former S.H.I.E.L.D. Wetworks agent who had retired for the call of family. Unfortunately, someone blew up his house with his family still inside. And with the authorities thinking that Joe did it, our new Punisher is on the run, and he's trying to find out who set him up and why. I'm really excited. It's really a cool and interesting and unique creative challenge to be adding a brand new legacy character to the Marvel Universe, and I'm so honored that Marvel would trust me to do something like that, and I'm really excited to show our fans and the readership at large, both new and returning fans, what we have in store for them.
Awesome, yeah, and like I said, we are all super excited. We trust you completely, so we know it's going to be great. I also wanted to ask, so we were talking a little bit yesterday, and you were mentioning like the kind of weight that comes with writing a legacy character,
sure,
and also about some kind of things you want to introduce to Joe. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. It's one of those things that one of the coolest opportunities about introducing a legacy like Joe is you get a chance to really re-examine the character and really kind of distill what is it that makes them so enduring, but what's sort of a slightly different angle that you can take on them. And for me, the Punisher, it's the action, it's the grittiness, it's the attitude, it's just the sheer tenacity and toughness and just being too damn stubborn to quit. And that's something that we're really going to be distilling into Joe. I think there is that shared trauma of of a family being wiped out. But I think in the case of Joe, this was not sort of a random thing. This was personal. This was targeted, and that's going to be, I think, integral to his origin story. This is not a guy who's going to be starting off as the Punisher whole cloth. Our story is really going to be sort of how does he really become that identity, and so that this story is going to tackle a lot of the questions that the fans have. And for me, the other cool thing is that there's so many other things you can add. Joe, for example, we've been focusing a lot. We've described this story as John Wick meets The Fugitive. And we're really leaning into that, that it's not so much about just it's not the guns and ammo here. It's really about the choreography. It's the gun fu of it all. And that's the cool thing about having a S.H.I.E.L.D. Wetworks guy like Joe, is that he has the hardware, but he doesn't necessarily need it. He really is able to kind of improvise and leverage anything in the environment to his advantage. Anything in his hands can become a weapon. And that's what's so cool, is that that's half the fun, is you can throw Joe into any situation, a nightclub, a restaurant, an office building, an abandoned warehouse, and let's see how he fights his way out. And so it's really cool. And also just the opportunity to add some new villains to the mix. We've got some really cool bad guys coming. Some kind of returning characters to the Marvel Universe, and others are kind of new twists on old favorites. But yeah, my poor editors, I send them emails every few weeks being like, what do you think about this as another villain? And they're like, okay, that's like your 15th or 16th villain. We don't need any more villains, but I'm having the time of my life coming up with these new characters. So yeah, I'm really excited for fans to get to see Joe in action. And yeah, we've got some fun stuff coming for new and returning Punisher fans alike.
Awesome. And then I gotta ask you, I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't, but I know you probably can't say anything, but is there any little nuggets you maybe can give us, a little tease of something that you haven't already announced?
Yeah, all I'll say is, the big bad of our opening arc. It's a fun twist on an existing fave, and we got some really cool stuff coming with that. The other thing I can tease, honestly, Dave Wachter, our artist on the book, man, you might know him from Planet of the Apes, and he did work on Ninja Turtles before that. And what's so amazing to me is for somebody who made his bones doing all these anthropomorphic books, he really is a perfect choice for this book. The characters look so fluid, which is so important to all the action choreography that we're doing. And Dave is he is the real deal. He's so talented. And the pages he's been turning in have been absolutely phenomenal. So I cannot wait for readers to get to see that. This new Punisher, he looks good. And the other thing I'll say is that, I know readers, they have a lot of questions. They're so passionate about it, which I love to see. And I think we are going to be navigating a lot of those questions in our book. For me, when I was putting this together, I looked at a lot of the legacy characters that Marvel's come out with in the last 10 to 15 years. I read Robbie Ray's original appearances as the new Ghost Rider. Sam Alexander is the new Nova. Even Danny Ketch, back as the original sort of 90s legacy character. And of course, my experience with Punisher 2099 in the pages of Savage Avengers. So it's been really interesting, to see those kinds of trends. They come up generationally. All the way back to Steve Rogers as the captain, and Eric Masterson as Thor. If there's anything that's constant in the Marvel universe, it's change. And I know that can put some fans on their toes, but we're gonna have a lot of fun here, and I can't wait for readers to check out what we've got coming.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a freaking blast, man. And then one last thing before I get out here is, if there's one thing that you hope readers take away from your new Punisher run, what would that be?
That's a good question. If there's anything that I want readers to take away from our run on the Punisher, it's that vengeance there's many paths to vengeance. It comes in many forms, and there's going to be some overlap with what's come before, but there's going to be plenty of things that are brand new.
Oh yeah, awesome. Well, David, thank you so much for your time. Let the people know what you got coming out. When is Punisher coming out? Do we have a date yet?
It's coming out, I believe, November 8th is our first issue. And in the meantime, if you're waiting, we've got Moon Knight: City of the Dead. Our first issue just came out on Wednesday. The response has been incredible. I'm so grateful to our Moon Knight Nation for checking out our story, featuring Layla El Faouli as the all-new Scarlet Scarab. She's made her debut in that costume form in this first issue. And if you're a diehard Moon Knight fan, or somebody coming in from the Disney Plus show, this miniseries is for you. I also have my Mad Cave horror series coming out. It should be in previews very soon. The Devil That Wears My Face. It's Face Off meets The Exorcist. It's such a fun book, and I'm working with Alex Cormack on it. I can't say enough great things about him. And call your local comic shop. Just tell them add everything from David Pepose to my pull list. My dog requires a lot of kibble. She'll be very happy.
Awesome. Well, you heard the man. Everyone go out, buy those books, and keep a lookout for Punisher. David, thank you again so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.